Hello there, and welcome. Well, today I'm going to ask you to write in the tradition of many writers, but most especially in the tradition of Anne Sexton. I read to you her remarkable poem, Cinderella, from her collection titled Transformations. I first came across the collection because it was a textbook that my brother Dean had from a poetry class he took at St. John's University in Santa Fe. He brought it home, Mother read it, and then I read it, and it became my book because as far as I was concerned, I was the one who really needed it. So, one of the things that's interesting about Sexton's retelling is it's full of surprises to most of us who read Cinderella as kids or saw a movie called Cinderella. But it isn't surprising that it is a story that still reaches out to lots of people. Kurt Vonnegut claimed that it was bound to be a commercial success, that anybody who wrote a screenplay based on the story Cinderella was going to have a commercial success. It was going to make money no matter what. Now, he talked about it in form of shape, in the way that it was shaped, and made clear that in Cinderella, if you're going to write a Cinderella story, there doesn't have to be a girl and there doesn't have to be a prince. That's all circumstantial. It's the idea of the shape behind the story that makes it so successful, especially with American audiences. So where does it begin? It begins with somebody in a loser position, somebody who's suffered, somebody who's lowly. And what happens to this person is this person faces terrible challenges in treatment. It's helpful to think about it in the sense that this person has to beg for help from somebody who may or may not owe them help. Now, in the Cinderella story that we're all familiar with, the evil stepmother is the bad guy. But in the Cinderella story that you're going to write, you just need a bad guy. It doesn't have to be a guy, it just has to be an antagonistic force against your Cinderella. And the bad guy's going to try to subject Cinderella to cruelty and humiliation. So whoever your Cinderella character is has to suffer some at the hands of the bad guy. And then, through the intervention of a good guy, a helper of some sort, Cinderella experiences something wonderful and then has to return to suffering. But in the process of experiencing something wonderful, something is gained that nobody can take away. Cinderella has her memories and her experience of being loved. And this is a great inspiration for her. And so she continues to forge ahead with her life and to accept the circumstances with a sort of optimism. And because she does so, and because the villains in the story are selfish and foolish, eventually she achieves ultimate good fortune. Now, this is what I suggest. You should write a Cinderella story. It could be based on a real person that you know that had a Cinderella story-like experience. It could be a fiction. Put yourself in a fiction where you're the Cinderella character and you achieve ultimate good fortune. Or maybe you write another poem about Cinderella, and this time your Cinderella is somebody entirely surprising. Mother once wrote an amazing Cinderella story called Cobalt. When I say mother, I mean my mother. About a woman who was homeless and, of course, mistreated. And the whole of the story takes place in one morning, and all of her memories, her flashbacks, introduce us to all the difficulties and the triumphs that lead to her eventual great good fortune. That's all I have today. I hope you have a glorious day, and I hope you try to write your own Cinderella story, if for no other reason than to give yourself a little encouragement. We all need that. Take care of yourselves. I hope you see me again. you gorgeous people.